Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our Hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019, and I know what you're thinking. You absolute pig, you've just kept going since the last episode, and you're incorrect. I just put this shirt back on because it's clearly a lucky shirt. We beat Crystal Palace in this shirt. This is our cup shirt. And don't be so judgmental. So, following on from that fantastic last episode with our win against Crystal Palace, in the FA Cup, we're through to the fourth round, playing Exeter. We have had 2 games since then. We had a pretty excellent game against Dartford that we won 2-0, and then a game against Cambridge, which was a bit rough. We were the better side for the majority of it. Keith Mear missed an absolute sitter twice, and we drew 0-0. Their keeper actually got man of the match, so I think that kind of reflected how the game went. And the game that we were supposed to also have against AFC Telford actually got pushed because they had a replay in the FA Trophy competition. So that one's now going to be the other side of this game. We won't do it in this episode. We're just going to focus on the FA Cup match in this. And regardless of how the result goes, still a lot to be positive about. Still a lot of football left to be played. And not so secretly, I am dying for us to get into February because we'll have a week between all of our games. It's going to help us a tremendous amount in terms of our training and fitness and all that sort of stuff. Just trying to manage everybody through the first 6 months of the season when we've had Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday the entire time has been chaotic. And we just don't have the squad depth really to put out a side other than our starting 11 that can actually compete at this level. Despite that, we are sitting in 6th spot, 47 points, though look at this gap. Only 3 points separating 12th and 6th spot. They're all down on 44. We do have a relatively good goal difference with +7. 31 games played, 14 wins, 5 draws, and 12 losses. Though considering how the season started with I think 7 losses in our first 15 games or something like that, it is a pretty good turnaround. We are starting to get more comfortable in the division and the league, and I think one of the big things that I'm happy with is that so much of our squad still has high potential that they continue to work through. So even if we don't go up this season, we would keep this group together and expect to be challenging in the playoff positions. If they do get another 12 months of improvement and another 12 months of progression, definitely challenging for a league title. So while I'd love to make the playoffs to help boost our reputation and boost our chances of getting through to full-time football, it's not going to be devastating if we don't. Brendan Roach, we spoke about briefly in the last game. I cannot get him to enter contract negotiations. This is the second time he's been on trial with us, and he still won't. He'll sign on trial and do a whole month, but he will not enter contract negotiations. It's the most frustrating thing ever because he looks absolute quality. Luke Nunn, you guys still haven't seen him yet. He got sent off on his debut, and then he picked up a 7-week injury just at the end of the last episode. So he's been suspended and injured pretty much since we signed him, really. We have also done our usual cleanup of youth players coming off contract at Premier League sides and at the Championship sides that are around the London area. So we are already unearthing some high ability, high potential players that we're potentially going to go after. So I've gone through this list, I've filtered it out. I haven't gone after any keepers because I don't think we need any. I think Dennis has been fantastic and we have another year to go on our backup as well. So we're really just looking to kind of increase our full-back depth, increase our central defensive depth, trying to pick up as many midfielders as we can just to help with those depth issues that we've had this season. And really, we're only focusing on players that have current ability of 3 stars or more. We don't really need to bring in any 1 or 2 star players with high potential because we already have that existing in the squad. So really, we're going to filter this down and just focus on the stars that come through and potentially some of our problem positions. I'm still not 100%. I don't think we've ever had a player that's done the 10 role really well. Had Vesco Ferreira, of course, last year. We've had Thrakaj this season. Still doing fine, but going 10 hours without a goal. We need someone that's consistently performing in that position. And our depth in the wide areas obviously needs great improvement as well. So hopefully we'll identify some key targets here. We'll go after them more aggressively than we have in previous seasons. And we'll really try and get some star players for the team. That's the plan, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's first jump into the game against Exeter. We're going to switch back to our cautious mentality, which did us so well against the game against Crystal Palace. They are the favourites, of course. They are currently 15th in Sky Bet League 1. I think when we looked last time, they were 22nd, but they've won 2 games since. It will be at their ground, St James's Park, not the Newcastle one, the Exeter version, and they've sold nearly 3,000 tickets, which is great. Oh, and they're managed by James Beattie, ex-Southampton striker, great player back in the day. They are playing a very top-heavy 4-2-4 formation, still with a good mix of real and regen players, which hopefully bodes well for us. We're, of course, going in our 4-4-2 hashtag shape. It's pretty much an unchanged lineup from the last episode. Urian Heim will continue to get an opportunity in central midfield. Obviously, we don't have that many fit midfielders at the moment because I sold Ethan White like an idiot, and Luke Nunn has been suspended or injured since we purchased him. Going to passionately tell everyone this is a great opportunity to show all the pundits they've been right to back you up. They've responded positively. I'm also going to tell the two attackers, I think there's a lot more to come from you guys, and they've responded motivated and happy, respectively. They were fantastic in getting past Crystal Palace. We'll need them to be at their best again today to get past Exeter City. The game kicks off, and I'm hoping this is just a kick-off highlight, and it is. So let's see how we go, and if our cup run, our magical against the odds cup run, can continue past the League One side after beating championship opposition last time out. Right, they've got a throw in here on the side. Yuri heads it away, but only as far as Russell again. Finds Robertson at the top of the box, and he got that one sweetly, and thankfully it's just past the outside. They've got red nets, like a red portion of their net, and I'm a little bit colourblind, so I don't see green and red that well together at the best of times. So if a ball flies in the back of the net and I call it a goal kick, just go along with it. We'll just pretend it didn't happen. Got a highlight here again. Madison's going to take a deep free kick. Dennis comes out and claims, but what has gone on there? Downing has given away a fucking penalty. Downing has made massive strides in terms of his star rating, but he just does the dumbest shit all the time. Madison's going to take. Dennis nearly bails him out. He gets the right side, but just couldn't get across deep into the bottom corner. And it looks like we're going to check it out in 3 dimensions as well. Let's see how the stands look. Can't barely see anything. It's a good penalty, to be fair. Hard and low, down to the weak side of the goalkeeper. Fucking Downing. Here he is again on the ball. Played to Norman. Back to Downing again. Goes back to Dennis, who has to launch it long. Dick Thrash will go up for it. If Dick Thrash gets us another equaliser in this game, I will never call him that again. Here we go. Heim now with the ball. Moved outside to Waring. Can he get the deep ball across? Inside to O'Neill. Deep one back stick. And it's hit someone and gone in for an own goal. I think it is Albert Greengrass, the regen, their right back, has brought us back into it. I don't think we've had a shot still yet, but we've managed to get ourselves back to 1-1. That happened in another game earlier this season. I think it was the first game. Waring with a good connection there with O'Neill. And first time ball from O'Neill. Meal was in the area, and maybe he just caught a small defection off Meir and it hits Greengrass on its way back into the net. So we've been gifted one back to bring us back to level pegging. And at least now we can score against them, or at least we know they can score against themselves. Alright, I've got it loaded up, the demand more, but they've got a highlight again from a similar position as where they scored the first time. Though we have recovered the ball. Thrakaj is coming forward now. Meir's just dropping off the shoulder. If he can find him, he does now in the box. Can he find the finish? And what a goal that is. I love seeing our two forwards combine like that. And just such good movement off the shoulder from Keith Meir there. Lovely weighted pass from Dick Thrash. That's exactly what we want from our combination of a deep lying forward on support and a striker running off the shoulder. Just times his run, keeps himself on side, and then once it's played in, he just smacks that one near post. Keep couldn't get anywhere near it. We've taken a 2-1 lead. The cup run might still be alive. It's all the lucky shirt. Alright, so what I am going to do is, instead of saying demand more, we're going to praise everybody, because that was excellent play to get our first shot on target and to take the lead. Okay, only Downing has responded positively, but if that stops him from making any more mistakes or giving away any more penalties, I will absolutely take it. Alright, Pinnock's, they've immediately got a highlight, which is always a concern. Greengrass, who conceded the own goal, comes forward to Russell. It's recovered well. It's a long ball forward, but Corrigan should tidy up pretty easily. To Robinson in midfield, forward to Gordon. Waring recovers, goes back to Dennis. Long ball forward. No one challenges the defender, which is always frustrating. Dick Thrash has won it back. Meir now. He's got options on the right. He looks for O'Neill into the corner, but Corrigan recovers. We're caught goal offside here. They've got a 3v3, and we're all committing too far near post. Potter on the right wing, and don't tell me he's fucking done it again. I might sell Downing. I might, 2 penalties in a half in 33 minutes. Come on, Dennis. It's a great save. Dennis, I'm lost for words. I'm very rarely lost for words. I'm trying not to scream. I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying to remain composed. We're only going to look at this fixture. Taylor Dennis, whatever we're paying you, it's not enough. You're getting £300 a week, I think. We might try and boost that up to $600 if you keep winning us money and getting us through this competition. Darren Downing, you're a fucking liability. Is his name even Darren? I'm not sure. I've lost all ability to do anything. Madison with a deep free kick. He hangs it back post. Pinnock's in the area. And is that... No, it is an actual goal from Scott Burgess. I thought for a second it might have been an own goal from Darren Downing, which is really all that's missing. Own goal and him getting sent off. Those are the two things that I'm going to call him now. I'm going to say he's probably going to do both those things. It's a good deep ball in. Pinnock cuts it back, and Burgess looks like he was obstructing the keeper, but, whatever. What can you do? It's pretty much an own goal anyway. Right, they've got to throw in this right again, and so many of their highlights have actually started at this position. And is he onside? Danny Potter has put them 3-2 up, which is quite frustrating. His 10th goal of the season. I think it was just a shot that deflected into his path. So again, this right fullback spot with his long throws. Heim heads it away. It comes to Burgess. Gets his strike away. It hits, I think, Joe Norman and falls to Potter, who puts it, to be fair, does very well to take it first time, put it in near post. But super frustrating after going into the lead. I know we don't deserve the lead. I can see the stat line. I understand what's going on, but still, I would have loved to have held out till half time. Right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go passionate, and we're going to say, oh, that's a different one. I don't think any of you has played as well as you're capable of in the first half. Make up for that in the second. That's kind of risky. I've never really used that before, but we could give it a whirl. Let's do it. Why not? Live dangerously. Okay, 2 players have responded motivated. Darren Downing is on a 6.2, has given away 2 penalties and is on a yellow card, so he will be coming off for Nick Willis, who, let's be honest, is fairly shit. Let's just calmly say, I think there's a lot more to come from you. I completely believe you've got what it takes. I'm also going to praise the front 2 and just say, I appreciate the effort. You've just been unlucky so far. And they seem motivated and happy, which is great. Should we also change our... we're 3-2 down. What do we got to lose, really? We stay on cautious. We might nick something on the counter like we already have, but I think maybe we should go for it a little bit. What should we do? Screw it. Let's go attacking. Why not? Let's go out in a blaze of glory. If we're going out, let's at least go out swinging. Right, and the second half is underway. It's a long ball over the top, immediately finds Potter, who's onside, and Dennis thankfully gets his angles right. It's a short corner towards Robinson. It's deflected back to Madison again, and thankfully Madison was offside, so that brings the highlight to a close without us conceding again. Alright, so 58 minutes gone. We're going to make our final 2 subs. We're going to swap the 2 wingers. Kiembe will come on the left wing. Chadwick will come on the right wing, just to get some fresh legs out there. We also haven't had a highlight one way or the other since we switched to attacking. We haven't increased our shots. So we're going to switch to our positive tactic, and I'm also going to say I think there's a lot more to come from you. Completely believe we've got what it takes. One's happy, one's motivated. If we can get any sort of assists or goals out of either of them, we will be absolutely ecstatic. And let's also go back to Old Faithful. About an hour gone. As soon as we can, I'm going to use the shout, get creative. And most have responded inspired, which is exactly the sort of response we were looking for. Just give me some sort of highlight, give me some sort of hope, something to talk about so this isn't a boring ass video where we get knocked out. Right, we've got a highlight here. It's going to start with them from the throw in like so many of them have. Their sub Aviero comes forward, but Norman hacks it away. No one challenges Nelson, he heads it straight back into a dangerous area for us. They've got 3v1 in there. Burgess with the crossfield switch to Greengrass, who of course had the own goal. Deep ball across, Norman gets it away, but to Aviero, it hits the deck 3 times. Madison's surely offside. How many deflections have just fallen their way? This is so frustrating. But we might as well use our shout and say, demand more. It just pinballs around in there 3 or 4 times. And listen, don't get me wrong, we've been incredibly fortunate in our cup run. I'm not blind to that fact, but just it's 2 strikes from a nothing area that deflect off our players that do well to get their body in the way, and it just falls to their right player. They've had 2 goals that went that way. They've had 2 penalties that were given. Sometimes football just doesn't go your way. It doesn't matter how lucky the shirt is that you're wearing. It just happens sometimes. I've got a highlight again, Robertson with a free kick, and that's going to be it, but I'm going to try out Show Some Passion as a shout once we actually get that. Let's check it out in 3 dimensions. It actually looked like a decent free kick. Curled over the wall, away from the keeper. It does beat Dennis on his side, but I can't complain about Dennis. Dennis has been fantastic. Alright, let's Show Some Passion a whirl just to see what happens, just to test some stuff out. Okay, a lot of them look fired up, so that's interesting. So maybe next time we concede earlier in a game, I can Show Some Passion from the sideline, and hopefully everyone will respond either fired up or motivated. I guess I can't really complain. They've got a highlight here. I might complain actually if this fucking goes in. Okay, Dick Thrash has won the ball back high at the pitch. We have got men breaking with him. He's got 2 men in support. He releases Keith Mear with a lovely weighted pass. It's a good tackle. Penelope ref maybe? No, not interested. At least there's some sort of response. But you look at that stat line, is where I was about to say. 1 shot, 1 on target, 53% of the ball. It's probably 5-2 is probably an accurate reflection. It's just frustrating that we could do so well to keep Crystal Palace at bay with all of their talent and then $40 million men and Rian Brewster and Emile Smith-Rowe and all these fantastic players, and we're really struggling to keep these random regens. Great goal from Keith Mear. I've just talked all the way through that. But fantastic finish from him. He's 23rd of the season. These off-the-shoulder runs that he's making to find these volleys, it's a good ball out to Chadwick early, and he just gets his head up, spots the run in that space. Oh, no, he doesn't. It's Waring. And it's a good run. Lovely finish on his left peg. Great technique. Gets it on target. It's 5-3. We're not going to come back. Well, actually, maybe I'll treat the game. maybe I can trick Sports Interactive because I know they listen in whenever I'm playing and recording. We're definitely not going to score 2 injury time goals and win the game. Or not win the game, draw the game, and force a replay. Definitely wouldn't happen. Alright, throw in here is pretty much most of the highlights have started. Fitzpatrick just kicks it to no one when we had guys bursting forward to try and support the attack. And now we're left in a 2v1 on the right. Bolton with a deep ball. Waring's headed up but just to the top of the box. And Robinson, of course, smashes it in. His second goal of the game. It's 6-3. At least it's been entertaining. At least there's been highlights for you guys. It is a good run from Bolton. It's a good ball out to find him actually, but he gets all the way to the byline without anyone fixing their angles. Waring's header away needs to be further to the wide. And Robinson, first time volley, smacks that one into the bottom corner. I don't blame Dennis in any way. Fitzpatrick gets a 6.0 rating because he's just getting walked past. But to be fair, he's on 61% condition and has been for most of the season. Listen, I know I'm sounding negative. I'm not. I understand the way the game works and that we've ridden our luck enough. It's just very frustrating sometimes. I get excited. They trick me into thinking that we're actually going to win sometimes by going 2-1 up, making me believe, and then breaking my heart. And this is pretty much the 4 minutes of additional time finished up, so I dare say we're about to see the final whistle. Dennis comes out and claims the ball, and just hold on to it, Taylor. It's all good, mate. Like, we're going to go back. I'm going to say nice things to you guys in the change room. I'm not going to scream at you. Long ball towards Threkaj, to Nelson, back to Oxborough. And it's all over. The referee calls full time. I could be upset, but why? What's the point? What's the point of being upset about it? 20 shots for them, 9 on target, 49% possession, 9 shots on target, 6 that went into the back of the net, and they missed the penalty in that as well. We had 3, 2, and 51% in the end. 2 great goals from Keith Mear, and a Greengrass own goal as well. Alright, I'm going to passionately say, putting the result aside, that was a pleasing performance. Everybody has fucking just gone mental with that one, I guess. I'm just going to tell everybody they were unlucky and see if I can bring a couple of people back. Okay, most are confused now instead of switched off and confused, so that's at least a step in the right direction. Fucking Darren Downing. So Exeter Coast Pass, #United, fair enough. Sam Robinson 9.0 and his 2 goals got him the man of the match rating. I can't really complain. We had a phenomenal cup run. I really should be prouder of the team. And I guess if we wanted to focus on the positive, we get 1.1k extra, which is great after losing. It would have been great to win because we would have got more cash and we potentially would have gotten a home fixture. But it wasn't meant to be. You can see here some of the issues we're having with like players needing rests. What I am kind of excited about is that now our schedule should open up a bit. I know we've got 2 games this week with AFC Telford midweek and then Stockport on the weekend. But then beyond that game, we actually have 6 days rest each time we play, and I think that's really going to help our team out a tremendous amount, give us extra focus. We actually had a great January. Now I'm looking back at it, like we only lost that 1 game, so it's been decent in terms of not losing. That's a step in the right direction for us. So it does mean sitting 1 point out of the top 7 and the playoff positions with 1 game in hand, which is great, which is the game against Telford, who are currently sitting in 5th. We do now get to switch our focus to just league football, and we've got about 10 games remaining. Well, actually, I lie, 14 games remaining to try and get ourselves into those playoff positions. We're 20 points behind top spot, so I don't really think that's going to happen unless Chester absolutely capitulate in their remaining 14. But having that extra focus, having that extra time between our games is going to help us a tremendous amount. And all I think we're going to do is continue to try and adjust our tactic based on who we're playing. So, like, we'll keep cautious for the next one because we're playing Telford away from home. But then after that, once the schedule and everything opens out again, we might go back to our positive tactic for a little bit and see how that goes. We might test out our attacking tactic for a little bit because I've not put that much time into it throughout this series unless we're chasing a goal. But we'll try and mix stuff up and see how the team's doing, not just so that we can get through the end of this season and continue our player development by playing as many of the young players as we can, but perhaps most importantly, our cup run has helped our finances a tremendous amount. We started the season at negative 700, nearly 800k. We're now at negative 137, which I know still isn't great, but it is still a massive step in the right direction to getting us out of debt. And in the remaining games of the season, the 14 or so games that we have, we can continue to focus on building in new tactics, keep giving game time to our young players, keep trying to develop them so that we're not just trying to get as high as we can this season and into the playoff spots, we're also building and developing our tactics, our familiarity, our players for next season as a platform as well, in case we are still in the Vanarama National. And even though we are on a part-time contract, showing that we can compete. So the next time you see me will likely be that Forest Green game, second last game of the season, and the Kidderminster game to finish off the year. At least they're both in the bottom half of the division, which will help us a tremendous amount if we're needing to get key points in the lead up to the playoffs. And then fingers and toes crossed that if everything goes well over the remaining 12 games that we'll do off screen, playoff football that I'll bring to you guys as well. As always though guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the support that the series is continuing to get. Please don't forget we do have an FM20 giveaway. There's probably about a day remaining for you to actually go in and have your guess. If you guess correctly, I will give you a copy of the Football Manager 2020 game. Send it through to you as a gift on Steam. You'll have it there and ready to be part of the beta access, and also get a copy for FM Touch for pre-ordering. You can keep up to date with any Football Manager 2020 updates as they're released by following us on Twitter in @TheMixer_FM. But more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching and coming along for the ride, and I hope you're enjoying it. So as always, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't ever forget to hashtag it.